Welcome to our exploration of the evolution of psychological science. Psychology, the scientific study of mind and behavior, has a rich and fascinating history. In this video, we'll journey through time to see how psychology has grown from philosophical roots to a rigorous scientific discipline. We'll uncover the key milestones, influential thinkers, and groundbreaking discoveries that have shaped our understanding of the human mind. Whether you're new to psychology or looking to deepen your knowledge, this series will provide a comprehensive overview of how psychological science has evolved and continues to impact our lives today. Our story begins in ancient times when psychology was deeply intertwined with philosophy. Early thinkers like Plato and Aristotle pondered questions about the soul, consciousness, and human nature. They debated whether knowledge was innate or acquired through experience, laying the groundwork for later scientific inquiry. These philosophical discussions set the stage for centuries of exploration into the mysteries of the mind, influencing countless generations of scholars and shaping the earliest concepts of psychological science. In the 17th century, philosopher René Descartes introduced the concept of mind-body dualism. He argued that the mind and body are distinct entities, with the mind responsible for thought and consciousness, and the body for physical processes. This idea sparked intense debate and inspired further investigation into the relationship between mental and physical phenomena. Mind-body dualism became a central theme in early psychological thought, influencing both scientific and philosophical approaches to understanding human behavior. Late 19th century marked a turning point with the birth of experimental psychology. Wilhelm Wundt, often called the father of psychology, established the first laboratory dedicated to psychological research in Leipzig, Germany in 1879. Wundt and his students used scientific methods to study sensation, perception, and reaction times, emphasizing the importance of observation and measurement. This shift from philosophical speculation to empirical investigation laid the foundation for psychology as a scientific discipline. Building on Wundt's work, Edward Titchener introduced Structuralism, an early school of thought in psychology. Structuralists aimed to break down mental processes into their most basic components, using introspection as their primary method. By analyzing sensations, images, and feelings, they hoped to uncover the structure of the conscious mind. While structuralism was eventually criticized for its reliance on subjective reports, it played a crucial role in establishing psychology as a field of scientific inquiry. In response to structuralism, functionalism emerged as a new perspective. Led by thinkers like William James, functionalists focused on the purpose of mental processes and behavior. They asked how psychological functions help individuals adapt to their environments. This approach emphasized the practical applications of psychology and paved the way for later developments in applied psychology, including education, industry, and mental health. At the turn of the 20th century, Sigmund Freud introduced psychoanalysis, a revolutionary approach to understanding the mind. Freud emphasized the role of unconscious processes, childhood experiences, and inner conflicts in shaping behavior. His theories about dreams, defense mechanisms, and the structure of personality sparked both fascination and controversy. Psychoanalysis influenced not only psychology but also art, literature, and popular culture, leaving a lasting legacy. In the early 20th century, behaviorism emerged as a dominant force in psychology. Pioneered by John B. Watson and later B.F. Skinner, behaviorists argued that psychology should focus on observable behavior rather than internal mental states. They used experiments with animals and humans to study learning, conditioning, and reinforcement. Behaviorism's emphasis on objectivity and measurement helped establish psychology as a rigorous science, but critics argued that it ignored the complexity of mental processes. While behaviorism dominated in the United States, Gestalt psychology developed in Germany as an alternative approach. Gestalt psychologists, including Max Wertheimer, Wolfgang Köhler, and Kurt Kafka, argued that the mind organizes sensory information into meaningful wholes. Their famous phrase, "the whole is greater than the sum of its parts," highlighted the importance of perception and context in understanding experience. Gestalt principles continue to influence research in perception, problem-solving, and design. In the mid-20th century, humanistic psychology emerged as a response to both psychoanalysis and behaviorism. Figures like Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers emphasized human potential, self-actualization, and personal growth. Humanistic psychologists believed that individuals are inherently good and capable of making meaningful choices. This optimistic perspective influenced therapy, education, and the broader understanding of mental health, highlighting the importance of empathy and self-awareness. 1950s and 60s saw the rise of the cognitive revolution, which shifted psychology's focus back to the mind. Cognitive psychologists like Ulrich Neisser and Jean Piaget studied mental processes such as memory, language, and problem-solving. They used experimental methods and computer models to understand how information is processed, stored, and retrieved. The cognitive revolution transformed psychology, leading to new insights into learning, intelligence, and decision-making. As technology advanced, biological psychology gained prominence. Researchers began using brain imaging and genetic studies to explore the biological basis of behavior. This approach examines how the brain, nervous system, and hormones influence thoughts, emotions, and actions. Biological psychology bridges the gap between psychology and neuroscience, offering new perspectives on mental health, learning, and development. Developmental psychology explores how people change and grow throughout life. Early pioneers like Jean Piaget and Erik Erikson studied cognitive and social development in children, while later researchers expanded the field to include adolescence, adulthood, and aging. Developmental psychologists investigate how genetics, environment, and experiences shape our growth, providing valuable insights into education, parenting, and mental health. Social psychology examines how individuals think, feel, and behave in social contexts. Researchers study topics like conformity, persuasion, group dynamics, and prejudice. Classic experiments by Solomon Asch and Stanley Milgram revealed the powerful influence of social pressure and authority. Social psychology helps us understand relationships, communication, and the impact of culture on behavior. Personality psychology seeks to understand individual differences in thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Theories range from Freud's psychoanalytic model to trait theories like the Big Five. Researchers use surveys, experiments, and case studies to explore how personality develops and influences life outcomes. This field has practical applications in counseling, career guidance, and personal growth. Clinical psychology focuses on diagnosing and treating mental health disorders. Clinicians use a variety of approaches, including cognitive behavioral therapy, psychoanalysis, and humanistic therapy, to help individuals cope with anxiety, depression, and other challenges. Clinical psychologists work in hospitals, private practice, and research settings, playing a vital role in promoting mental health and well-being. Cognitive neuroscience bridges psychology and biology by studying how brain activity relates to mental processes. Using tools like fMRI and EEG, researchers map the neural pathways involved in perception, memory, and decision-making. This field has revolutionized our understanding of the mind, leading to advances in brain-computer interfaces, artificial intelligence, and treatments for neurological disorders. Evolutionary psychology examines how natural selection has shaped human behavior and mental processes. Researchers explore topics like mate selection, aggression, and cooperation, seeking to understand how evolutionary pressures have influenced our minds. This perspective provides insights into universal human traits and the origins of complex behaviors. Cultural psychology investigates how culture shapes psychological processes. Researchers study differences in cognition, emotion, and behavior across societies, highlighting the importance of context in understanding the mind. This field emphasizes that psychological theories must account for cultural diversity, challenging assumptions based on Western perspectives. Positive psychology, founded by Martin Seligman, focuses on strengths, well-being, and human flourishing. Rather than only treating mental illness, positive psychologists study happiness, resilience, and meaning in life. This approach has inspired new interventions in education, therapy, and the workplace, promoting a more holistic view of mental health. Psychological assessment involves measuring intelligence, personality, and mental health using standardized tests and interviews. Tools like the IQ test, MMPI, and projective tests help psychologists diagnose disorders, guide treatment, and conduct research. Assessment is a cornerstone of clinical, educational, and organizational psychology. Industrial organizational psychology applies psychological principles to the workplace. Experts study employee motivation, leadership, teamwork, and organizational culture to improve productivity and well-being. This field helps businesses select and train employees, design effective work environments, and manage change. Health psychology explores how psychological factors influence physical health and illness. Researchers examine stress, coping, and health behaviors like diet and exercise. Health psychologists develop interventions to promote wellness, prevent disease, and support patients in managing chronic conditions. Forensic psychology applies psychological knowledge to legal issues. Professionals assess criminal behavior, provide expert testimony, and help law enforcement understand motives and mental states. Forensic psychologists work in courts, prisons, and law enforcement agencies, contributing to justice and public safety. Environmental psychology studies how physical spaces and natural environments affect behavior and well-being. Researchers explore topics like urban design, noise, crowding, and green spaces. This field informs architecture, city planning, and efforts to create healthier, more sustainable communities. Sports psychology helps athletes enhance performance, manage stress, and achieve goals. Experts use techniques like visualization, goal setting, and mental training to boost confidence and focus. Sports psychologists work with individuals and teams at all levels, from amateurs to Olympians. Educational psychology examines how people learn and the best ways to teach. Researchers study motivation, memory, and classroom dynamics to improve educational outcomes. Educational psychologists design curricula, develop assessments, and support students with learning challenges. Psychometrics is the science of measuring psychological traits and abilities. Experts develop and validate tests for intelligence, personality, and aptitude. Psychometricians ensure that assessments are reliable, valid, and fair, supporting research, education, and clinical practice. Comparative psychology studies the behavior of animals to understand human psychology. Researchers compare learning, memory, and social behavior across species, revealing evolutionary patterns and unique human traits. This field bridges psychology, biology, and zoology. The digital age has transformed psychological research and practice. Psychologists use online surveys, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence to study behavior and deliver therapy. Technology also raises new questions about privacy, social media, and the impact of screen time on mental health. Psychological concepts are widely discussed in the media, from news stories to movies and TV shows. While this raises public awareness, it can also lead to misconceptions. Psychologists work to communicate accurate information and promote mental health literacy. Modern psychology recognizes the importance of diversity and inclusion. Researchers and practitioners strive to understand and address the unique experiences of individuals from different backgrounds. This commitment helps ensure that psychological science benefits everyone, regardless of culture, gender, or identity. Ethical considerations are central to psychological research and practice. Psychologists follow strict guidelines to protect participants' rights, ensure confidentiality, and promote well-being. Landmark cases have shaped ethical standards, emphasizing the importance of informed consent and respect for individuals. Psychology has become a global science, with researchers collaborating across continents. International organizations and conferences foster the exchange of ideas and promote cross-cultural research. This global perspective enriches our understanding of the mind and behavior. Psychological research informs public policy on issues like education, health, and criminal justice. Psychologists advise governments, design interventions, and evaluate programs to improve society. Their work helps shape laws and policies that promote well-being and social justice. Today, psychology is a dynamic and evolving field. Researchers explore topics like mindfulness, digital addiction, and the impact of climate change on mental health. Interdisciplinary collaboration and new technologies continue to drive innovation, expanding our understanding of the mind. Despite its progress, psychology faces challenges such as replicability, bias, and the need for greater diversity in research. Scientists are working to improve methods, increase transparency, and ensure that findings are robust and applicable to all populations. The future of psychological science is bright, with exciting possibilities on the horizon. Advances in neuroscience, genetics, and artificial intelligence promise to deepen our understanding of the mind. Psychologists will continue to address pressing social issues and promote mental health worldwide. Psychological science touches every aspect of our daily lives, from relationships and work to health and happiness. Understanding psychological principles can help us make better decisions, cope with stress, and build stronger communities. The insights gained from psychology empower us to lead more fulfilling lives. Research is the backbone of psychological science. Through careful observation, experimentation, and analysis, psychologists uncover the principles that govern behavior and mental processes. Ongoing research ensures that psychology remains a vibrant and evidence-based discipline. The impact of psychological science is far-reaching. From improving mental health care to enhancing education and workplace productivity, psychology has transformed society. Its influence can be seen in therapy, policy, and everyday interactions, making it an essential part of modern life. Psychology connects with many other fields, including medicine, education, business, and technology. Interdisciplinary collaboration leads to new discoveries and innovative solutions to complex problems. These connections highlight the versatility and relevance of psychological science. Psychology encourages lifelong learning and curiosity about the mind. Whether through formal education, self-study, or everyday observation, exploring psychological science enriches our understanding of ourselves and others. The journey of discovery never truly ends. From its philosophical beginnings to its current status as a scientific discipline, psychology has undergone remarkable evolution. Each era brought new theories, methods, and discoveries, building a rich tapestry of knowledge. The field continues to adapt and grow, reflecting the complexity and diversity of human experience. As we look to the future, psychological science stands poised to address new challenges and opportunities. By integrating advances in technology, embracing diversity, and maintaining a commitment to ethical research, psychology will continue to illuminate the mysteries of the mind and improve lives around the world.